Who would you say is the most badass character in Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, Fairy Tail, and Dragon Ball respectively? The most badass character from Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, Fairy Tail, and Dragon Ball Z respectively. Well, just to let you know ahead of time, I haven't been keeping up to date with Bleach, with Naruto, or even with Fairy Tail because I prefer to read the manga personally, and I like to purchase them, support the cause. And I don't really like to read it online. I don't know, it's just me. So I am a little bit behind on my Fairy Tail, and hopefully it'll come out with the next volume soon. And I also plan on making a list of the top 11 badass anime characters. But for now, I'll start off with the easy one. For Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta. Hands down, he's the most badass character in the entire series. He may not be the most powerful, but that's not what makes him a badass. What makes him a badass is attitude, what he does, his actions, and overall how much he kicks butt. And we've known for a long time that Vegeta can kick so many types of ass. Several occasions he has shown just how badass he can be with pulling off all these Solid Snake moves during the Frieza saga. It's kind of hard to define. I'll have to explain it more in the top 11 review when that comes around. For One Piece, it's a little bit hard to narrow down because there are a lot of badass characters in the series. A lot of them have the right attitude. A lot of them are definitely power pogs. It almost comes down to the actions that they do, like things that they accomplish. Like Whitebeard, he is a badass mother jamma, if you know what I mean. He can pretty much destroy the entire world with his tremor fruit. But I think the most badass quality of him was that he took a shot through the chest! Through the chest! And even after he died, he remained standing. Now that is what I define as being badass even after death. All the Straw Hat crew have had their moments of badassery. Luffy in particular has both the power, and I think his most badass moment of all was when he punched that dragon with a Falcon Punch! Ooh, that was the most awesome thing I've ever seen Luffy do. But I think the most badass character out of the entire One Piece cast of characters would have to be Roronoa Zoro. Or Zoro. LNR. That's going to be another video. Now, here's my reasoning for it, though. He has the attitude. Yes, he has terrible sense of direction, but he has the attitude. He has the power. And he also has the action. Particularly his endurance. Name me one time that Zoro has been at his peak physical health, that he hasn't had any battle injuries or scars or bruises or cuts or bleeds. I mean, nearly half of the series, this guy is pretty much hospitalized. And yet he still manages to get up and kick some ass. But I think the most badass time for Zoro would have to be, well, there are a lot of occasions, but I think the one that really stood out in my mind was when he decided to take upon himself all the pain that Luffy had suffered when they were on Moria's island, and Kuma got this big ball of energy that had all of Luffy's damage that he's taken during the big brawl. And Zoro took it upon himself to absorb all of that, and when Sanji found him, all he was doing was just standing there, motionless. But he was standing firm, and with resolve. Now that is something to be admired. And that is why I think Roronoa Zoro, LNR, gonna explain it in a review one of these days, is the most badass character from One Piece. For Bleach, I would have to say Kenpachi Zaraki. For one, he has definitely the power. I don't think there has been one moment that I've seen where he has ever really gone down in a fight. You know? I don't even think he really went down after facing Ichigo. I don't remember, but I don't think he did. He also has the attitude, which is also very important. And he also has several actions. His Zanbakuto doesn't have a power, yet he is a captain. How much more awesome can you get than that? He doesn't have any fancy pedal dancing powers, which I thought was really stupid because I didn't really see the effectiveness of it because they never really seemed to hurt anybody, and if they're fast enough they can dodge it, so I'm sorry. I don't see any point to that Zanbakuto power, but he doesn't need a power. He doesn't need any special fancy powers. He just uses brute force to knock down his opponents. He is so badass that he gives his opponent an opportunity to try to inflict a wound on him, to be able to get closer to his level by attaching bells onto his hair so that they can hear him easier. Otherwise, without them, they would be at a severe disadvantage. He has an eye patch that restricts the flow of energy, the flow of chi, I think they call it in Bleach, although I could be wrong. But the flow of power that he has through his body, and once he removes that limiter, he's unfrickin' So yeah, Kenpachi. Badass character from Bleach. For Fairy Tail, I would have to say Urza or Elza. LNR. Again. Urza, Elza. Urza, Elza. Anyways, I would have to say her because she has the attitude, she has the power, and she's had several actions so far in the series that I have read. I'm at the point in which Fairy Tail is in a civil war with each other. So I'm at that point in the story. God, I need to catch up. Please come out with more volumes soon. I want to read more. Anyways, yeah, Urza, or Elza. To be a little bit more descriptive, she's the only female character so far that I've been listing off of characters that have been... She is the muscle of the team. She's the most powerful out of all the, Fairy Tail regular crew. Natsu, Gray, Lucy, and Juvia sometimes. And also, that metal dragon guy that just joined up. But yeah, Urza. Most badass character from Fairy Tail. For Naruto, it's kind of hard to decide, because badass can be defined in, the attitude, the power level, and also the actions that the character has done. On a personal choice, I'd have to say Rock Lee. I love that guy. He may not have the attitude of a badass character, but he certainly has the power, and he certainly has had several scenes of badassery for his action category. So I would have to pick Rock Lee. However, other characters also could be put up onto the badassery list for other reasons. For example, Shikamaru. He has the attitude, way up there with the attitude for a badass character. Although he's rather down there in the power level. However, that might actually work in his favor of being even more badass because he doesn't have as much power as the rest of the ninja in the village. Or in any village. Because he has to think, he has to strategize, like any good strategist should, in trying to devise a way to defeat his opponent. And he's had several scenes of him being pretty badass. Naturally, a lot of those were against women, and one of them I think he's dating, although I haven't been up to date on that. But, yeah, Rock Lee, Shikamaru, these two characters have definitely shown me that badassery can go to several different realms. The Pervy Sage, he's pretty badass, he's got the power. Not so much the attitude most of the time, but when he does have the attitude, it then counts. And I think he's had some pretty badass scenes. But, again, I can't really talk for Naruto and Bleach because I haven't really been reading or watching them lately. I've been busy as hell. Yeah, I have to say my picks for the Naruto cast would have to be Rock Lee and Shikamaru. Now, you're probably asking, what about Sasuke and Naruto? Well, I hate Sasuke as a character because he was conceived by the executive producer. Not that executive producers haven't come out with some good ideas before. I'm just saying that it wasn't really that good of an idea this time around. And, well, Naruto, he definitely didn't have the correct attitude in the first series. In Shippuden, he got a little better. And when he turned Demon Fox, that was definitely a badass moment for him. And Sasuke's, I like to say, cursed form. Rather gay with the lipstick there. Why did he need it? I don't see a reason why he would. None of the other guys had lipstick. None of the other cursed marked ninjas of the Sound Tribe had any lipstick when they went beast mode. So, whereas Sasuke and Naruto do have the power, Sasuke's attitude is a little, action-wise, they both have had, I guess, some scenes of badassery. Mostly, it's a little bit more towards Naruto because we've seen him a little bit more, especially when he goes all Demon Fox. So during those moments, Naruto is badass. But I still would have to say Rock Lee and Shikamaru because their weaknesses, their faults, actually make them more human. And when you're a character that is going against something bigger than yourself, you become an underdog. And everybody loves a good underdog character. And yeah, that's why I think Rock Lee and Shikamaru, most badass characters from Naruto. Who do you think is the one who took Whitebeard's place as the Yonko, following the WB War Saga? Who from the Whitebeard Pirates would take over Whitebeard's place as the Yonko? Well, I think the obvious choice would have to be Phoenix Marco. He's the 1st Division commander, and he seems to be the most level-headed out of all the pirate crew, always thinking things through, calculating, but also having some pretty nifty badass powers. And I think everybody could follow in Marco's stead. Although, wouldn't it be kind of interesting if Squardo, the Maelstrom Spider Squardo, the guy that, you know, if you're a fan of One Piece, you know what he did. Poked Whitebeard with a stick. Stabbed, really, but... Wouldn't it be kind of ironic if he became the leader of the Whitebeard Pirates? Kind of like a redemption-type story for his character, because he felt awful about what he did to Whitebeard, and Whitebeard still forgave him. Just like Santa would. But anyways, wouldn't it be kind of interesting if he became the leader of the Whitebeard Pirates? I know he's not a part of the main crew, he's a part of the Allies, but wouldn't it be kind of interesting if that were to happen to him? I think it would be kind of interesting. Although I think it would be more than likely for Phoenix Marco to take the place as captain of the Whitebeard Pirates.